my name is David Huffstutler. I'm the owner at Hamilton Fairfield TaeKwonDo. This is Ian Wiseman. He's one of my instructors today. We're going to be sharing some tips on how to break bricks at martial arts demonstrations. Ian is going to be going through and showing you how to do it, what supplies you need, where to get them, also a little bit of advice, extra tricks that you need to help break the bricks. Why do we do this? It's a great wow factor for the crowd. Kids love it, parents love it. You can also use it to raise money at some of your demos at the charitable organizations.
Hi there, my name is Ian Wiseman, just as Master David stated. I've been studying under him for about 15 years, and I've been breaking bricks for about 5 of those years. I started out with 1, just as you see today, and I'm currently working my way up to 10, so that's my goal. My current record is 6. First, let's go over the brick. The brick here, I got it at my local brickyard. When you go in there, you don't want just any Joe Schmo brick. You want to make sure that it's a concrete brick. This one's about 2 inches in thickness, and you want it to be lightweight. The reason being is if you get a solid concrete brick, you're going to break your hand or arm or anything like that. So a couple of the things that you need. First and foremost, your brick and a solid surface to put it on. We use cinder blocks just because they're sturdy, easy to transport, everything like that. As you can see, we've torn up one of our mats. I prefer to break on a harder surface just because I don't want my brick moving anywhere. It's more firm, but you can do it on mats, hardwood, concrete, floor, carpet, anything like that. It just makes for an easier cleanup if you're on the concrete floor. So as you can see here, I've got pencils, and I've also got quarters with me. These are your spacers. The reason that we put spaces in between bricks is the more that you stack up, the thicker that surface becomes and the harder it becomes to break. So I'll show you how to set those up in just a minute. Going to the technique part of the break, you want to make sure that you visualize going through the brick. You want to make sure to keep your muscles tense at all time, and that you want to drop your weight through the brick. If you don't visualize one of these things, something could go wrong and you can injure yourself. So the way that I break my bricks is with my hand. I don't do a fist or anything like that. I hit with my heel here, palm. You want to come down and you want to visualize going through it again. So you want to make sure that you start out even stance, brick in between you. Okay, you want to visualize going through that brick. I normally take about 10 seconds to myself, kind of steady my breathing and focus on going through that brick. After I've calmed myself, I want to make sure that my technique is spot on. So I turn my weight, starting from that even position here. I turn my weight into a lunge, and I keep my arm bent as I drop my weight and pretend to break through that brick. I visualize going through that brick. So I do that just a few times here. And I breathe as I come down, dropping my weight. Going through it slow motion like that will prevent anything from going wrong, not using your weight, doing the hand motion wrong, hitting with the wrong part of your hand, anything like that.
So we're going to go into the setting up aspect here. As you can see, I have my cinder blocks almost all the way separated for the width or the length of the brick. The reason being is you want them on the outermost edges as far as possible, still having a sturdy surface here. You want your hand to be able to go through that surface, and with the support being on the ends, it makes the middle more breakable. Now, there's 2 ways that you can set these up. You can have thinner spacers or thicker spacers. I prefer the thicker ones just because it doesn't seem like all one solid surface. I have done both. I prefer these. You may figure out that you prefer the coins in between. So the way that you want to set these up is if you're doing the coins, I'll start with those. You want to set 1 coin. It can be a quarter, nickel, dime, penny, whatever you want to do. You want to set them on the corners. You don't want them in the middle, obviously. You don't want any support in the middle where you're going to be breaking. You just want that space to even out and separate those bricks so it's not one gigantic brick. And then you delicately place your other brick on top, straight in line with the first, making sure you don't knock those spacers out or anything like that. And as you can see, it's a very tight space here. does make for a more interesting break, a more profitable break, but it does wear on your wrist or your arm as you do it. So going into the pencils, you only need 2 pencils as opposed to 4 coins. So you take your pencils out, and you want to make sure that they're not the rounded edge. You want to make sure that they have the hexagonal shape to them so they don't roll. Again, you want to place them on the outermost edge, making sure that they don't roll. And then this one you kind of have to be more careful with because those pencils will roll. Slowly place them on top, kind of checking that stability. You can give it a little bit of a shimmy just to kind of see if your pencils are moving at all. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And as you can see, the gap here, it's a lot larger. You can see the light behind it a little more, and it just separates those bricks out just that little bit more to make it that much easier. So before going through with the break, I just wanted to mention that going through 1 is the same as going through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on up. You want the same technique, dropping that weight, going through those bricks, visualizing going through those bricks. And it also helps to have a crowd around cheering you on as well. I've done this numerous times for charity organizations and everything like that. It's a great way to raise money. Just for the DAV, I raised almost $200 just for breaking bricks and smashing a board over my head too, which we'll cover in another video maybe. But like I said, it's the same thing going throughout. If you do something wrong, it could lead to injuries. I've had numerous wrist injuries, elbow injuries, just from hitting the wrong way or anything like that. So you for sure want to start with just 1. You don't want to get too far ahead of yourself and take on more than you can chew. So before I go into my break, one last aspect of the break is your key up or your yell. You want to make sure that you get that adrenaline churning and that you focus all of your energy inside of you into those bricks. You want to hit the center of the bricks and go straight through. You want to drop your weight, and you'll hear me yell right before I do my break. You'll see me come up with my weight and then drop it down and go through those bricks. So I'm just going to take a moment of my time to center myself and get that energy flowing. You'll see me do a couple practices before. You'll hear my key out and then the final break. Last but not least is your cleanup duty. You want to make sure that the bricks get to a proper disposal site. You want to make sure you get all the little pieces so nobody cuts their foot. And you can hand out the bricks if you like to. I don't like to give them to kids because they like to hit each other with things. So, like I said before, it's a great way to raise money for charity, saying that you're going to break a brick. It's very impressive. Very few people do it, and that's one of the reasons why we made this video. You want to start with 1. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I've done that before, and it didn't turn out well. Could lead to injuries, could lead to humiliation. So just make sure you start small and work your way up. And be sure to look for future videos from us. We'll be doing advanced breaks on wood breaks, brick breaks, and everything like that.